watch this video, then let's talk.
Load of merch in that 12-passenger van in a small club in Minnesota, and the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name in the star. Now look at where we at, still growing up, still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older, couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that blast first.
The nuclear family is obsolete. It's outdated. Arguably, it was never in style. The nuclear family was never black, you know? We've been taught that it was. It's propaganda. It's patriarchal, which automatically means it's a lie. But it's also not beneficial for anybody involved. Hi, for those who are new here, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist. I talk a lot about decentering men, being child-free, all of that sexy stuff. So if that sounds like your vibe, please like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. Now, let's dive in. Now, while I personally do not want children, I love children. I love other people's children. I love squeezing a baby. I like biting like cute aggression, and then giving them back when they get too stinky. I am made to be the world's best auntie. The world's best auntie. Now, I'm not saying that every child-free person subscribes to that idea. You can dislike children, you can like other people's children, you could like specific children, you could whatever it is. There's so many ways to be a child-free person. I would also like to put out there, because I've had a couple of, I love that there's a bunch of moms on my page. This is not exclusively a child-free page, because I believe that intentional parenting and child-free people ask themselves the same questions. We just come to different answers to them. I'll make a completely other video about that another day, because I really want to talk about just how dumb the nuclear family is, and how it forces you to center men. And this also goes for queer relationships, relationships where there's two non-men together. There's also a force for somebody to find a man, to be a paternal figure to a child. So it all still kind of falls under the umbrella, which is fascinating, but also unhelpful. So first, let's talk about why the nuclear family just is obsolete. It just does not work. And mind you, this list could be a whole lot longer, but I'm trying to keep it short for you guys. So one, when it comes to just resources in general, and that umbrella has a bunch of little buckets. There's emotional resources, there's physical, there's time, there's psychological resources, there's a lack of air that children need to grow and explore and build themselves up to be a productive member of society. There's not a lot of that when your entire world is two people. Two people living in a capitalist society, best case scenario, trying their best to make ends meet. Also, best case scenario, have a good head on their shoulders and are actively trying to unlearn and face the traumas that they experienced growing up. Best case scenario, right? They also make a decent enough amount of money to be able to provide secure housing, good food, which at this point is more of a luxury in the United States than not. There's a lot of pressure put on the nuclear family to be everything, not just to the child, but also to each other. And imagine if you are a cishet woman in a nuclear family with a cishet man, and now all of the things that you need to sustain yourself as an individual, as a spirit in flesh, everything that you now need for that, your only partner in that is a man. Thoughts and prayers. Now, with this in mind, let's talk about the benefit of communal living. I've talked about this before, and I should probably do a much longer video on it, but there is a very long study where people talk, where a social scientist talked about indigenous communities around the world. I think she focused on 3 or 4 indigenous communities around the world and their child rearing practices. And one of the things that was a through line in each of these communities was that the community raised the child. There was not necessarily an overabundance of children. Why? Because the community raised the child. It does take a village. And I'm not even saying that everyone was a babysitter. No. Why? Because if you secure the mom, you secure the family. So, and this is where I think there's so much space and room for a deeper appreciation of child-free people. Now, in the first video that we saw that there were men, women, I don't know anybody's genders. Let's just say that everybody was represented somewhere within that video. Some people were playing with the baby. Some people, except for that first clip, I don't know if any of us would have known who the parents were. It's also an assumption that the 2 people in that first clip of that video were the parents. Why? Because the community raised the child and the community secured the home. The community said, hey, listen, give me the baby, I want to play. The community said, oh, this child doesn't know what sour tastes like. Here's lime, automatically connecting neurons in this baby's mind. The men that were teaching the baby what sour was. Now, mind you, do I think that you should just leave your baby with any old booga? No. We talk extensively about why that is dangerous. But if you have a community that is tight knit, and there's also like everybody was represented there, right? That community not only helps the child to develop more neurons in their brain because more experiences at that first year of life. The more experience you have in that first year of life, literally the smarter you become. There are documentaries about this. My personal favorite is Babies on Netflix. It is fascinating. It'll teach you so much about yourself. If you haven't watched it, 10 out of 10 recommend. It focuses on all of the things that happen in that first year of life. First year, maybe first 2 years, but definitely that first year of life. Anyway, that's happening with the baby. You know what's going on with mom and dad? They are able to maintain their identity as individuals. They are able to still have friends. They are able to go out and sometimes bring the baby. They're able to go out and sometimes not bring the baby. Mom is able to still have hobbies. They're able to do whatever it is because it is the community. The amount of women and femmes, or people that with uteruses in general, that say that they have lost themselves in their marriage, in motherhood. Why? Because the nuclear family does not allow for air to pass through, which encourages experiences, which encourages community. There is no air, so you are suffocated within your house. Now, even if that was not the case, I still don't want children. I am vain and I do not do pain well. I cry at the slightest inconvenience. And I don't expect that to change anytime soon. I would be an insufferable pregnant person to everyone around me, but most importantly to me. And let us not forget that in that first video, it said that these are college students, which means that mom and dad are probably also college students. Which means that because they have a community, mom and dad are able to continue to get their education. In a nuclear family, that just would not have been possible. That would not have been possible. And child-free people create that kind of community for a better society in general. Things to think about. I'd love to know your comments. Please tippity type them away. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that sexy stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.